Nestled just miles from suburban neighborhoods in Southern California, the Santa Susana Field Laboratory, once a hub for nuclear research and rocket testing, has left a haunting legacy that continues to affect thousands of people. Founded in the late 1940s, SSFL was a secretive testing ground for both nuclear reactors and rocket engines, playing a critical role in America's race to the stars and nuclear advancements. But in its quest to push the boundaries of science, the lab exposed nearby communities to some of the most dangerous contaminants known to humankind. In the decades that followed, radioactive materials like cesium-137, strontium-90, and iodine-131 were released into the air, soil, and groundwater, leaving a toxic footprint on the land and the people who lived there.
We never thought something like this could happen in our neighborhood. But now we're dealing with health problems we didn't expect: cancers, thyroid issues. It's hard to ignore when it hits so close to home. When we learned about the contamination, it was like a slap in the face. We've been living here, raising families, drinking the water, breathing the air, all while unknowingly being exposed to these toxins.
For years, residents had no idea what was happening in their own backyard. But as health issues piled up, the connection to the Santa Susana Field Laboratory became harder to ignore. Studies began to show troubling increases in cancer rates and thyroid diseases, and many of the sick were people who lived right next door to the site. By the 2000s, the community had had enough. Legal battles ensued as affected families sought justice. Lawsuits accused the companies responsible, like Boeing, of negligence and called for a full-scale cleanup of the contaminated site. But even as cleanup efforts moved forward, many believed it wasn't enough. The dangers from toxic chemicals like perchlorates and trichloroethylene still lingered, and many feared that radiation levels in the area were too high for the site to ever be truly safe again. Despite the progress, residents remain on edge. The fight for a full cleanup continues as community members, environmentalists, and health advocates push for accountability and transparency. After all, these are people's lives at stake, lives forever affected by a toxic legacy. We just want our community to be safe. We want to know the full truth of what happened here and ensure that it never happens again. The story of the Santa Susana Field Laboratory is not just about a place or a problem. It's about the people whose lives were changed forever.